Choir, Chairman of the Foundation of Friends of the Louisiana Political Museum.
It's a pleasure for me to welcome you to the 21st Annual Political Hall of Fame induction banquet. The Museum Board is proud to recognize 6 individuals and 1 family for the Hall of Fame class of 2013. This year's inductees join 138 prior ones in what we regard as the Academy Awards of Louisiana politics. 2 Hall of Fame members have passed away since our 2012 banquet, Pappy Trish and Charlie Smith, and we extend our condolences to their families. The Hall of Fame membership is diverse and it runs the gamut of officials, parish officials, court clerks, sheriffs, mayors, legislators, governors, congressmen, and U.S. senators, as well as journalists and lobbyists, all of whom have left lasting impressions on the political fabric of our state. Louisiana politicians are a colorful lot. Some get elected by making wonderful speeches, others simply by making a good jambalaya. We celebrate the wit and wisdom as well as the genuine accomplishments of our leaders. We are entertained by their faults and foibles while we respect their service to the people, and we are forgiving of their mistakes. The core of our state's political spectacle has been humor, with wonderful storytelling, quick wit, and humorous attacks on opponents, as well as the ability to laugh at oneself. In a recent state Supreme Court election in Baton Rouge, Jeff Sanford, a runoff candidate, acknowledged that he had served 6 months probation as a young man for resisting an officer. He said, "Anybody who knows me knows I can't afford to throw mud at anybody." And that's a refreshing honesty. Uncle Earl used to say, "I am going to run a clean campaign, and I'm not going to say anything bad about my opponents until they start in on me. And if that rotten catfish mouse Harold McSween does so, I'm going to give him as good as he gets." After Mr. Earl left office in 1960, before hitting the stump for Congress, he was in New Orleans and he had a minor traffic accident in the French Quarter. He ran up on a curb in Bourbon Street. He probably got distracted looking into the open doors of one of the clubs. A police officer came to investigate and asked him for his license. Uncle Earl went through his wallet and retrieved one. "Governor," the cop said, "this isn't a driver's license, this is a hunting license." Long quickly said, "Son, what the devil do you think I'm doing on Bourbon Street except hunting?" In a stump talk to the Catholic Church in South Louisiana, Huey Long in 1928 told Hal, "When I was a boy, I got up at sunup to comb the mare and hitch up the wagon and take my old grandfather to services at the Baptist church. Then I would bring him home, I would rest feed and water that old mare, and then I would hitch him back up to the wagon, I'd take my fine old Catholic grandmother to Mass. On the way to the next stop, his driver said, 'Kingfish, I didn't know you had a Catholic grandmother.' 'Heck, boy,' Huey said, 'we didn't even have a wagon.'" And I like what Mayor Mitch Landrieu said about the 34-minute loss of power at the Super Bowl game. Who hasn't blacked out in New Orleans? When Bob Kennedy was elected governor in 1952, he passed a constitutional amendment requiring voting machines in every precinct because he thought Uncle Earl had him counted out when Russell was first elected to the Senate in 1948. A reporter asked Uncle Earl what he thought about mandatory voting machines. Laughing, he said, "Give me all 5 commissioners at a poll and I'll make the machines play Home Sweet Home." Along that line, I do have a very important and serious announcement to make about what I heard on the radio driving here. It seems that Secretary of State Tom Shedler replaced our last remaining old voting machines with the new models. There were 1,000 of the old machines from 1992 still in storage. Tom heard that one of the Mexican states wanted to drop paper ballots for voting machines, so she offered them a deal, and they bought all of our old ones. Now the Mexicans are returning the machines and demanding their money back. Tom asked what the problem was. "Senor Shedler," the official there said, He says, the problem with your machines, Edward Edwards was just elected governor of Guadalajara. We are grateful to you for coming, and we appreciate the hard work that has made this function possible. You will find acknowledgments in the program, but we especially want to thank Carolyn Phillips and the museum staff, Winfield city officials, and legislators from this area. We have to tell you that this museum and this Hall of Fame are at a crossroads. We used to get a state appropriation of $150,000 annually, but that was cut to $100,000, and every year we have to fight for that. I had intended and hoped that Governor Jindal would be here this evening so we could talk to him about it, but he's not presently making a goodwill visit to Louisiana. So we ask you to urge your own representatives. And senators to support us, to find $100,000 in the $30 billion budget to help us keep going. We do receive some income from admissions and book sales, but we are in a precarious position, and we really need to raise money for a reserve fund. So, subject to the approval of the board at a meeting we will hold within the next several weeks, we are planning on May 11th in Baton Rouge during the legislative session to hold what we will expect to be one of the biggest political parties this capital has ever seen. For this function, we will invite members of the legislature, which will be in session. We expect elected officials throughout the state. We're going to ask prospective candidates for governor. That may fill the hall alone. And to headline this reception, dinner, entertainment, and fundraiser for this museum, the headliner will be our four-time Governor, Edward Edwards. This will be shortly before his 86th birthday. And we look forward to the support that he has always given us. We'll send out information about it, but we think that it will be a hot ticket. So when you get your notice and invitation in the mail, we hope that you will send in a reservation and join us in supporting this wonderful museum and Hall of Fame. We have many people who work with us, but the principal one is the one person who gives all the orders to Ted, to Mike, to me, and to everyone else, Carolyn Phillips.
Please remain seated and bow your heads, please, for the invocation.
Tonight we have 6 inductees to go into the Louisiana Political Museum. Our next recipient is Mr. Hyram Copeland. Mr. Copeland started out before politics as a department manager 23 years for Sears. About that time, his wife Sandra encouraged him to get into politics because she liked it so much, as most women do. So he decided to run for the Vidalia City Council. In 1976, he got elected. He served 12 years as a city council member of Vidalia, and then he decided he'd be the mayor. Well, he ran for mayor in 1984 and got beat. He lost that race. That didn't deter him. In 1988, he ran again for mayor, and this time, no, in 88, he ran for the council again and got elected. So after serving 12 years on the council, he ran for mayor in 1992 and was elected, and has served as mayor of Vidalia, Louisiana for those 6 terms. He has been there 5 unopposed terms. Now that means a lot if you're a politician. 5 unopposed. The last race, when he was opposed, he only got 68% of the vote, and Sanders' wife got mad because he didn't get more votes than that. Hyram has been the LEPA chairman of 96-97 in the year 2007. He's been on the Louisiana Municipal Gas Authority as past president. He's been the chairman of the El Camino Corridor Commission. He's been the president of the Mason Ridge Economic Development District. He's been the president of the statewide Rural Economic Development. He's been the chairman of the Concordia Parish Economic Development. He's been a member of the Coxsackie Delta Planning. He has served on the Governor's Economic Development Task Force. He is currently serving, he's been on the Mississippi River Parkway Commission. In 2010, he was elected as Concordia Parish Person of the Year. He is now serving on the newly formed Mississippi River Initiative, which is all the mayors on the Mississippi River from Minnesota to New Orleans. So it's quite an honor to be on that. If you hadn't been to Vidalia lately, go over there and look on the riverfront and see what the city of Vidalia looks like because of Hyram and the people he has surrounded himself with. They got an $8.2 million riverfront convention center that is absolutely fabulous, that costs the city not one penny because of his efforts. He has gotten many grants for civic centers, hospitals, hotels. The whole riverfront is booming. If you want to see something about a city and its mayor and how they run business, go look at Vidalia, which is truly a city on the move. Our next inductee, please welcome Mr. Hyram Copeland, Mayor of Vidalia, Louisiana.
First of all, I want to thank the chef for an excellent meal. It was delicious. Carol, I want to thank you and your staff for having an outstanding night tonight. Always. Thank you very much. I want to thank Mike Tenerillo for the kind words. He and I have worked together on many, many projects before, and he's done an outstanding job. So Mike, again, thank you for those kind words. I want to congratulate the other inductees. Such a tremendous honor to be here tonight with them. What an honor to be here tonight in the birthplace of Louisiana politics. What a tremendous honor to be nominated by the Louisiana Political Museum Hall of Fame. I want to thank the committee for this award. I'd like to thank also the elected officials and friends who have worked with me through the years. Also, I want to thank a special friend, and without his work and help, a lot of our projects in Vidalia would not become a reality, and that's former State Representative Brian Hammond. Thank you very much. I want to thank the Vidalia employees and my high school friends, classmates who are here tonight. There's still a few of us left. And I want to thank the people of Vidalia for giving me the opportunity to serve them for over 30 years. And finally, I want to thank my family for having to endure living with a politician all these years. And you ladies that live with a politician, you know what I'm talking about. They're our backbone. What a wonderful journey, beginning with my grandfather, taking a 10-year-old youngster to an election night for a local elected official. And just the excitement of that room and that night, I've never forgotten. And then standing on the street corner next to Votes Drugstore in Fairview, Louisiana, watching all the governors, all the elected officials, all the senators, Governor Earl K. Long, Robert Kennan, all the Longs coming and speaking out of the back of a pickup truck with a PA system. That was before television in our area. And that I will never forget. And what they were saying they were going to do for the people who they represented. All of them fantastic people. And then I had the opportunity to be elected city council in 1976 and finally mayor in 1992. Those years I will never forget. What a great life I've had. And it's all because of the friends I've been associated with through all these years. Thank you for an award I will cherish for the rest of my life. And may God bless everyone.